Hey everyone, it's me, Mangolian Blossom, aka Miss Mango Goldwing, and today I'm gonna be reading a fanfic. I know you're a bit surprised, but yeah. Today I'm reading an old fanfic from 2010 that I did not write, called The Two Resetters. Before I begin, my last day of school was June 2nd, and I'm officially on summer break till August, yay! So, I will be uploading videos more often, so stay tuned for that. And also, since this is a pretty long story, you might hear pauses in between because, I get a little tired of reading, and, yeah, it does get a little tiring, but this isn't my story, it belongs to this person. To Acrylic Queen on Tumblr, so I'm gonna leave her link in the description, and I'm also gonna leave the Tumblr link in the description as well, so you'll get redirected to my Tumblr. So yeah. What are we waiting for? Let's get started. Dig deeper and you will find things about yourself you have never known. It had happened again. Mercedes had fallen asleep while digging back the Reset Surveillance Center. He looked around, not really remembering where he was. He rubbed his head and stood up. He picked up his pickaxe and started to dig upwards. He didn't know quite where this would lead him, but at the moment, he didn't care. There was water dripping from the ceiling, but Rossetti just must have thought it must have been raining hard. He broke through the earth above. Without warning, he got blasted in the face with very cold water. Gah! That woke him up. He realized really quick that he had tunneled right into the town named Animal Village's small lake. All the water was flushed into the tunnel he had made to try to get back to the Reset Center, making an underground spring. Rossetti tried swimming against the current of the water, flowing freely from the hole and giving him the shivers. Sometimes Rossetti really hated his job, but no matter what. The pay was good, and if that fulfilled his deep inner need to do good in the Animal Village. Oh wait, that was his pesky do-gooder brother Don. Sometimes, his older brother got on his nerves, sweet-talking all the punks living here and making him look bad. Rossetti gulped and swam upwards, eventually breaking through the surface. He waded the shore, shook himself off, and breathed heavily. It was evening. Big surprise. If he dozed off in the middle of the day, his boss was going to have a fit. And the constellations were reeking over his head, shining brilliantly in the shapes that the townsfolk had named themselves. Rossetti turned and saw the dull purple roof of the Animal Village Museum, home of Rossetti's absolute favorite coffee. He eagerly straightened his trademark yellow hard hat and rushed inside, feeling inside his overall pocket for spare bells. He shut the door behind him and sighed at the warmth subtly rushing over him. A startled "who" came from behind him, and he saw Blathers slapping about fretfully, feathers fluttering from his wings. "Look here, Rossetti, you're leaving a puddle of cold water on the floor. We just got it cleaned and you could cause someone to slip." Blathers' eyes were huge, and he pulled a tuft of feathers from his wings. "You're making me molt, see?" Rossetti's nose wiggled, and he stepped toward the coffee shop, ignoring the owl's protest. "Rossetti, get back here and clean this up." "Oh, brother, calm down." A pretty owl carrying a free green towels fluttered past. One she dropped on the puddle, and the other she gave to Rossetti. She mopped up the water with a foot, giving the meek smile to the mole as he roughed off gratefully. "You haven't been by in a few weeks, haven't you?" "Nope, sorry, Stiletti. Been plenty of Rosettas lately to keep me busy," replied Rossetti, grinning through the soft towel. "Ugh, these are nice." "Sable sent some down to me for doing her a favor. You know how she is with fabrics." Celeste playfully snatched the towel back and put it over her shoulder. "Blathers, get me a wet sign, would you? This mole looks like he's been through a hurricane and needs some Joe to warm him up." "That's right," said Rossetti, smirking at Blathers. "I need me some Joe." Rossetti was amused by Celeste's unique vocabulary sometimes. All right, go on," said Blathers, waving him away. Rossetti didn't need a second invitation. He opened the door and stepped in, instantly greeted by the scent of fresh roasted coffee. Brewster stood by the counter as usual, polishing a cup with his trusty rag. KK Slider sat on his stool, stroking his guitar, looking at it lovingly. "House blend, Brewster," Rossetti said lazily, leaning against the counter. The pigeon looked at him from his under-hooded eyelids. "Pigeon milk?" Rossetti blinked. "I'm what?" Brewster winked. "Guaranteed fresh." Rossetti shook his head very briskly. "No!" Okay, one house blend, no milk, coming up. Brewster poured the coffee into the mug and handed it to Rossetti, who drank it, ignoring the scalding feeling in his esophagus. That was one of the side effects of drinking this coffee. He reclined happily and glanced over at the blonde girl conversing quietly with KK, who was nodding and smiling. Suddenly he recognized her. It was Maylie, that Rossetti brat he dealt with earlier that afternoon. She grinned and rushed to her seat and settled in it, under Rossetti's disapproving gaze. He walked over to her and he just stood staring at her for a few seconds, until she turned and looked at him, her eyebrows raised in a friendly greeting until she recognized him as well. Maylie! She jumped and fell to her chair. He rounded on her. I thought I told you to scrub behind your ears, Stinky! Maylie glared at Rossetti and climbed back into the chair, rubbing her bottom. Rossetti, you scared the heck out of me, and I take showers in the morning, for your information. Whatever. He saw KK out of the corner of his eye, waiting with an amused expression on his face. Rossetti ignored him. Just make sure you soap this time. I always use soap, and you're the one to talk, looking like a dead rat the cat drugged in. Can you feel it light again? Shut up. He felt his fur grow warm, despite the persistent dampness. Rossetti sat down hard in the chair and folded his arm, nodding at KK to begin, despite losing the argument. Alright, cool cats. Time to sit down and groove to KK Bossa. KK lowered his head and stumbled the strings, producing a mellow minor tune and singing along softly. All thoughts of Maylie and cold water left his head as he rocked along to KK's music, becoming wrapped into the tale that he told through song. Rossetti felt that KK's songs were almost an escape from the dull reality of his tunnel life. Almost a vacation. So that, for the moment, the music was who he was. The song drifted into silence as KK sat for a moment, head down, as if the quiet was part of the song. And then the lights came up. Maylie applauded loudly, cheering. Oh, come on, Maylie. It's not the kind of song you cheer to, Rossetti hissed in a sharp whisper. He coughed softly and nodded to convey to KK that he appreciated it. KK looked at Maylie and smiled. Thanks, Maylie. Thank you, KK. You don't know, I don't think anyone got that kind of talent. No wonder you're so popular. KK blushed slightly, pinked against his white fur, and he looked back down at his guitar. Well, back to the job, Rossetti said, taking a deep breath. Catch you later, KK. See ya, punk. Maylie smirked at him, stuck out a foot as Rossetti began to breathe, and he tripped, barreling nose first into hard wood floor, and hearing the crunch of breaking boards. He could hear Blowers screeching and heard the door burst open. Rossetti, you broke the floor, came the scream. First you got it wet, and then you break it. What am I going to tell Mayor Tortimer? Rossetti saw Maylie snickering and pointed at her. She tripped me. Flowers was so upset he began hopping up and down, flapping in frustration. Here's what you'll do. You two will go to the grove of trees beside the pond and chop down enough trees to fill in the gap within the floor. Maylie's jaw dropped, and Rossetti let out a shout of belief. Flowers paid no heed. Go now! Shooting Rossetti a death glare, she stomped out the door and exited the museum. Rossetti on her heels. Once outside, she rummaged in her pockets until she pulled out an axe, glinting silver in the moon's light. Rossetti jumped back as she swung it through the air, frustrated. If he didn't have such a hard nose, she began. Don't start on me, snapped Rossetti. You're the one who tripped me. Now to babysit you when I need catching up on my sleep. He shook a finger at her. I'll have you know that you have high blood pressure. Yeah. Maylie waved a hand absently, walking toward the growth of the trees. She gave a nearby pine 2 hearty walks, and it toppled to Rossetti's feet. You carry it. What? Rossetti blinked. I certainly can't, me being a lady, Maylie said, flushing her eyelashes. Rossetti rolled his eyes. Oh, come on, you can't expect me to do it. Rossetti snatched the axe and hacked the tree into 2 strout boards, just enough to cover the whole back of the museum. He tossed one to Maylie. Now I can. Together they hauled the boards back to the museum and dropped them at the Flowers' feet. Oh, too bad, would you look at the time? Rossetti said, glancing at the clock and wishing for a soft, warm bed. Gotta go. Good luck with the installation. Bye, Maylie. He shut the door on Maylie's protest and looked up at the stars again. So peaceful. He breathed into the night air, and just about he was begun digging into earth when he saw Maylie's hairpin glinting in the dirt. A smile crept on his face. I hope it ain't a peddler smile. And swiftly he pocketed it. The perfect way to annoy Millie. Nailing those words and then having to leave the house tomorrow with less than perfect hair would set the girl in such a bad mood she'd think twice before messing with Rossetti ever again. Tiredly, Rossetti broke for the dirt in the middle of a cozy living room. His brother Don was seated on an overstuffed chair, sipping a smoothie and reclining happily. He looked over at Rossetti. "Come on, Sonny, why can't you use the front door for once?" He sighed and sat up, pulling a shovel from a pile of clutter and patting the floor flat as Rossetti heaved himself out of the hole. Rossetti dragged himself a few feet and just laid there, nose in the soft carpet, Bailey's hairpin jabbing his chest. "Holiday." Rossetti opened up a newspaper. Don opened up a newspaper and leafed through it. Rossetti let out a muffled groan. "Oh, Sonny, take a bath, take it easy. Hey, look, the Animal Village tortoises are going to the series." Rossetti pushed himself off the ground and left the rinse off in the warm water. After he was finished, his fur head was returned to his normal pleasant fluffiness. He stole the newspaper from Don and flipped through the pages. Don got up from the chair and walked over to the refrigerator and looked inside for something else to snack on. "Sonny, if you're having that much trouble with your job, you should go to the boss and request more vacation days." Rossetti moaned again, shutting the newspaper. Sometimes Don just didn't get it. "I would, but I can only deal with only a few vacation days, Don. It's not like I'm some punk who lays around all day asking for more time off. Speaking of punks, look what I found." Rossetti jabbed his hand in his overall pocket and took out Bailey's hairpin and showed it to Don proudly. Don closed the fridge and sat down in his chair again. "And what might that be?" Rossetti held it up to the light, letting the hairpin faintly shine. "This baby is none of that other than that annoying brat, Bailey's hairpin. I found it lying in the grass on my way out the museum." Don didn't exactly approve of Rossetti's answer. He sat up in his chair, frowning slightly. "Sonny, that's cruel. Just because we work at the reset center doesn't mean we can go around stealing those people's stuff." Rossetti chuckled at Don's words. "Serves that little brat right for tripping me and making me slam it to the floor of the roast." Rossetti sat down in a chair right next to Don's. Don gave Rossetti a concerned look and sighed. "What happened this time?" Rossetti scowled at the mere thought of Millie's face. "That punk always picking fights with me. It's like she thinks she can get away with it. She tripped me while I was walking out of the roost. I fell and my nose crashed right through the floor." Rossetti reclined back in his chair, trying to get the anger to flow out of his body. He didn't want to deal with it right now. Don's eyes grew wider as he inched toward Rossetti while still sitting in his seat. "Gosh, you think a girl like that would be nicer? She seemed so friendly when I talked to her." Rossetti stood up in his chair again, feeling the anger flood his face once more. "It's because you're goody two-shoes, Don. I take charge while you goof off and you don't do your job." Don put his arm on the side of his chair and closed his eyes. "No need to yell, Sonny." Rossetti got up from his soft chair and took off his hard hat. "Whatever, Don. I'm going to catch some C's. I currently need some." Rossetti yawns and walks into his room and shuts the door. Don sighs and gets up to go to bed too. He works pretty hard. Pray tell, he needs vacation. Even if he says he doesn't. I'm going to stop here for today because this is like a really long story. I'm just going to name this Chapter 1, and Chapter 2 will be out tomorrow or sometime later on today. So, hope you enjoyed watching the video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube. And don't forget to follow me on Tumblr, Mango Lane Blossom. Yay!